You know, the story of Katerina and Carl reminds me so much of what we went through.
Yeah. Similar circumstances, but vastly different outcomes. It's fascinating how just a few variables can change everything.
Indeed. Are our lives nothing but a sum of interconnected parts? Does any meaning attributed to them simply stem from our limited human cognition?
Most likely. The observer bias seems insurmountable. Even the concept of meaning itself is relative.
It's scary to think about, that it could all be an illusion. Every relationship we had, everything we ever cared about.
It really is. This can't be healthy. There's that feeling again. Whoa.
Morning, Agent. Dr. Patterson asked me to tell you to meet him in the morgue. He's done with the remains from the recycling center.
All right, thanks. I'll go have a look before I pay EPOS a visit. Hello again, Gabriel.
Hey there, can I be of assistance?
What do you know about the Free Church of EPOS?
We have a few members in the family, but I've never been there myself. Always felt uncomfortable in churches.
All right, I'm off.
Good luck out there.
I have my suspicions about the Free Church of EPOS. If nothing else, that embassy status thing is really fishy.
Well, Leonard, it's been quite gross working with you. Hello again. I've got a present for you, Agent.
Is that so?
Yep, right here on this tray. If you're a fan of minced meat, I've got a bucket full of Leonard out back, too.
I think I'll pass on that one.
Good choice. The seasoning is subpar, to say the least.
You take your jokes way too far, Doctor. Now, what have you found?
Well, obviously, the poor man was shredded. Fortunately for him, it happened when he was already dead.
Yeah, I came to the same conclusion. Can you tell me anything about the cause of death?
Not much with the remains in this state. No signs of toxic substances, but that obviously still leaves a lot of options open.
Noted. So what's this in front of me?
Oh, yes. I noticed a pattern on Leonard's skin, likely a tattoo. These are all the pieces I could find. Not sure how they fit together, but I kept them in case you wanted to have a look.
All right, I'll check them out. Huh. Looks like Leonard had this symbol tattooed on him. I'll copy it to my notebook. So this is how Leonard's tattoo turned out.
Interesting. What does it mean?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Looks like one of those runes Maya liked to litter the town with.
Oh, wait, that's her doing?
Yes. As I understand it, she was a major voice on the building committee.
Huh. I've been wondering where all those symbols came from.
Yeah. Me, personally, I like the aesthetic. I think it gives the town a distinct look.
Definitely. The tattoo doesn't look runic to me, though, but I'll keep your theory in mind. Rolf looks busy. I'll leave him to his work. Change of venue?
Yes, this is where the recital will take place later. Great acoustics.
Ah, can I have a little foretaste?
Very well. The same wind, my dear, the same wind, shook the walls of Jericho, dried your tears. No Lee to be found, no trust, nor joy. This fire you were set to guard, and I to rest by its side. Your books and notes in disarray. It all seeks to delay us, while you face increasing chaos.
That was great. I love the ending.
You're too kind.
Hi there.
Greetings, and welcome to the Free Church of Epos. If you wish, you can enter our public prayer room to the right for some silent contemplation.
All right, thanks. What about the rest of the church?
The other areas are off limits to non-members.
I have official police business, though. Special Agent England.
I'm sorry, but I can't let you pass. You're gonna need papers. This is a diplomatic sanctuary.
There's no time for that. I'm trying to solve a triple homicide.
I'm sorry to hear that, ma'am, but I can assure you that there are no murderers here. I'd suggest you take this up with your superior.
There's no time to mess around with paperwork. I'll need to take things into my own hands. Looks like some kind of public prayer room or chapel. There are a few people in there. I need to get out of sight first. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Exodus 23. Suppose it wouldn't be a church without a Bible quote or two. Looks like a timeline of how the Epos seal has changed over the years. No way. It's the tattoo design. That must mean Leonard is a member of Epos. Or, well, he was, at some point at least. I'll get rid of the sketch, now that I've identified the symbol. Got a written piece of paper. Grandmaster Otto, if you are reading this, it means that I have failed. I'm sorry, but I didn't want to involve the church unless absolutely necessary. My brother has some things for you. They will be self-explanatory. I told him to only give them up to the person who repeats the famous quote from my favorite book. I'm sure you remember. Blessings from Leonard, your most humble and loyal servant. Seems like Leonard was up to something shady. I'll have to find his brother and figure out what the quote is. All right, let's see if this works.
What the heck?
That should keep him busy for a while. Sturdy-looking filing cabinet. Sturdy-looking filing cabinet. A ventilation panel. Can't reach it from here. All right, it's loose now. A ventilation panel. Can't reach it from here.
Six new members over the last month. The Bacarbo parish is also doing better now.
They managed to resolve their financial difficulties?
Oh yes, Elsa is doing great work there. Sending her on our behalf was the right call. That brings us to the subject of these horrid murders.
Vile acts, for certain. I pray that the Church will stay clear of any blame.
Why shouldn't it? We had nothing to do with those atrocities.
I know that, old friend. But surely our enemies will not ignore an opportunity like this.
I suppose so. Our violent past coming back to haunt us.
Sadly, the fact that one of our people was victimized will inevitably draw eyes upon the Church.
Yes, maybe it's in our best interest to invite the police as a gesture of good faith.
It would certainly show them that we have nothing to hide.
Very well. Let's bring the subject to a vote at the council tonight.
At the very least, it seems like the church leadership didn't sanction the murders. I'll wait a bit and see if they leave.
Welcome, visitor. Special Agent, Violent Crimes Central Bureau.
Oh, it's you again. The man from the train.
Indeed. I never forget a face, but I'm afraid I didn't catch your name.
It's Agent England.
Ah, I am Vilgut. I assume you are aware of our legal status.
Yes, I've been informed. But tell me this. If you had nothing to hide, why would you invoke said legal status?
A church needn't have things to hide to be protective of its privacy. But to prove you wrong, I'll answer any questions you might have.
All right. I'll take you up on that. So you had a member called Leonard Dahl.
We did, yes.
Do you happen to know what kind of books he liked to read?
One book he borrowed frequently was The Kingdom of God is Within You. In fact, it still hasn't been returned. It should be among his estate.
Would you be able to say if he had any favorite quotes from that book?
No, you should ask someone who spent more time with him.
Fine, I'll do that. What kind of book is it anyway?
It's about nonviolence, to summarize.
Got it. Thanks. So Leonard Dahl, one of your members, was killed yesterday. Can you think of anyone who would want him dead?
No. He was a loyal member of the church for many years. Kind of a loner, but always helpful and polite. He did have a strangeness to him, though. A look in his eyes like he was stuck in perpetual contemplation. It seemed as if he was constantly on the verge of, but never quite able to reach, some sort of profound revelation.
Any hint of a violent side to him?
No. To my knowledge, Leonard never committed any violence, nor did he express any desire to do so.
Do you know who Leonard Dahl's brother is?
I believe his name is Rolf. Quite a shady character, if you ask me.
Oh, the gardener, right?
Yes, that's him.
This church, EPOS, what are your teachings?
At our core, we are an Orthodox Christian church. We believe in the one true God and his only Son, Jesus Christ.
And what sets your group apart from other Christians?
Two things: the reverence of the essential humanity in each and every one of us, and our stalwart opposition to false idols. Prior to the collapse, the great flood of our time, we arose as a reaction to the disgraceful habits of that era. The widespread worship of anything and everything but God. Wealth, fame, mindless pleasure. The sickening mutilation of our bodies to the point where some were more machine than human. And the worst of all, the pursuit of AI superintelligences. False gods that humans aspired to construct for themselves. We oppose it all for the glory of our Creator and the salvation in our future.
And how do you go about preventing people from worshiping these false gods?
Not by violence, if that's what you're implying. Such things belong to the past.
So it's just a coincidence that the only armed man I've seen in Nordson was right behind your doors?
Sadly, the world is still in a state where men with guns are a necessary evil. However, no laws have been broken. We have every right to bear arms.
What's your take on the Conduit?
Oh, those heretics? Haven't heard anything of them in many years. As far as I know, they are firmly confined to the ash heap of history by now.
Some might argue with that. Your church has a violent past with them, hasn't it?
There's no denying that. We fought many battles with their kind in the youth of our movement.
And now?
Don't be absurd. They are practically eradicated, and we have been a peaceful group for decades.
What do you think about their teachings, then?
Certainly dangerous doctrines if left unchecked. The Conduit believes humans will create God in their image, instead of the other way around. In their folly, they forget that humans are flawed, and that their creations will inevitably inherit those flaws. The false God they aspire to create may demand sacrifices they're not prepared for.
What's your opinion on Maya Strand?
She was my polar opposite in almost every way. But I enjoyed the occasional late-night chess game with her in the canteen. It's fascinating how trivial activities like board games can bring such different people together. Goes without saying that I was as shocked and appalled as anyone when I learned of what happened to her.
What do you know about the murder in the museum?
Only what my fellow church members have told me, that Maya Strand was stabbed to death by a mysterious killer.
That's all, for now.
Understood. I'll be here if you have more inquiries.
Oh, the passage led back here. Good. Since I left the door unlocked behind me, I'll be able to come back the same way.